What's good, y'all? Did y'all see what DJ Vlad put up about music being universal versus not? First thing is, we know Vlad had been in this culture for well over 20 years. I remember him back on the mixtape circuit when he really was a DJ. I remember when he started to manage Math Hoffa when battle rap started taking off in the late 2000s. They were going to put on events, and he might have started the first URL or the second, you know what I mean? Big league like that. So his proximity to the culture over the years definitely gives him some insight when he's levying opinions about what is and what's not. Now this time, it wasn't something about black culture necessarily. It was just about music in general, saying that it's not universal. Now, a lot of people on his face is definitely going to disagree with that. And we know that he's gotten into it with Lord Jamar, and they mended fences over comments about Farrakhan.
Lord Jamar is going back to Vlad. He's going back to Vlad, man. I'm like, wow.
We know that he threatened to have that professor fired or threatened to call her job because she said stay out of black business when he was saying that Kendrick's song wasn't up to snuff, which sounded ridiculous for real. And it made it seem like because of his beliefs, he was rocking with Drake. I mean, y'all know what that means. So there's always this question is there cultural appropriation? Is he a guest that's violating? And so that goes back and forth. My take on it really is, it's almost like inviting somebody to the crib. They live in there with you a lot of the time, or they're there as though they live, but they got their whole other crib that you don't really get to go to, but they're in your crib. And you get tired of getting food for them or going to the fridge or being a host. And you're just like, yo, man, if you want to eat, you know where the stove is, you know where the fridge is. You know what I mean? Like, come on, man, you've been here long enough. But then when they start moving furniture around and commenting on the quality of your house that they don't pay a mortgage for or don't own, as though they live there, you like, yo, if you don't like this house, get out. You got a crib over there. I don't even make you leave. You be here comfortable. How you gonna comment? I wish somebody would come in my house and tell me, why did they make this door arch a little bit higher? You know what? Either get shorter or leave. Like, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, it'd be one of them deals. So for him to say music is not universal seems like I said, like a ridiculous statement. And then you get to the semantic part of it, where technically we're talking about lyrics. We're not talking about music. And this is all in regard to the Bad Bunny thing, obviously, right? So bottom line is, I don't care what language it's in. If the beat is hitting, if the rhythm is there and it's well put together, it has a universal appeal. Doesn't mean everybody's going to like it, but it goes beyond language and things like that. Lyrics, that's a whole different deal. And even some songs where you don't know the lyrics, the most popular ones, you still bopping along to it. So what Vlad said is music is not universal. 50% of his musical composition and the other 50% is lyrics. If you don't speak any English, Nas isn't the greatest lyricist of all time. All you hear is gibberish over interesting beats. You're not experiencing the whole song, just like when you listen to the greatest Chinese lyricist of all time. The same went when I watched Bad Bunny's halftime show. It looked great, the beats were interesting, but I didn't know a single song or understand anything he was saying. And he's a lyricist, not someone who mostly focuses on melody, so he clearly had something important to say. I looked around, and all the non-Spanish speaking people in the party were experiencing the same thing. And if you're being honest with yourself instead of being fake progressive, you agree with me. Well, you know the responses came hot and heavy. The first one, music is not universal. Imagine not listening to Congolese music because I don't speak French. Imagine not listening to Zulu because I don't speak Zulu. Imagine not listening to jazz or blues with no lyrics. And imagine not listening to French rap. Vlad responds, nobody listens to French rap if they don't speak French. He might have a point there. A simple man says, you meant to say language is not universal. Music certainly is. And Vlad says, go listen to an hour of Chinese music and see how universal it makes you feel. Like, these are just culturally insensitive things to be saying. he also went as somebody who has also been in the media game for a while, and Vlad was familiar with him, and he diminishes the opinion based on his accomplishments not equaling Vlad. That has nothing to do with the opinion. Most opinions are not qualified. I get that. You should have some qualifications, or at least know a little bit of what you're talking about before you comment on it. Because, you know, people just comment for no reason. But the problem is, man, that whether it's cultural appropriation, whether it's just being too damn comfortable because you'd have been somewhere too long, like we said, if somebody is at your crib all the time and they just get real comfortable, start taking their shoes and socks off and putting it on the kitchen table where you put your food and all that, then you got to call it out. And with Vlad, with 6 million subscribers, huge platform, connections all over the industry, he kind of knows what he's doing. You understand what I'm saying? And it just comes from a place of that is his cultural perspective, even though he's been involved in this hip hop thing for a very, very long time. He still is who he is outside of hip hop. And we just got to understand that. You know what I mean? You still going to see people going on this show. You still going to see him talk about potential federal stuff. It does seem like lately, though, that has kind of gone to the side. Like, it's more like it's hip hop news that he does now, but the crime stories have seemed to taper off a little bit. Now, I don't know if that's because every damn story that's out there has probably been told, but there seems to be a little better balance with that. But the biggest thing is just the cultural insensitivity and whether he's aware of it and does it deliberately, or whether or not he's not fully aware. And so people have to call him out on occasion. The thing is, he's so big now, he doesn't have to care. You understand what I'm saying? Like, his reach is tremendous. He's done great things. He's been around for decades now. And he built a business model that a lot of people have followed after him, emulated, and been successful. Like, he was a trailblazer at the beginning of the YouTube era and this new social media era that we are now in fully. So, but let me know what y'all think in the comments, man. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Till next time, man. It's your boy Dell. We out of here.